Let's just jump right into this explainer, because today we're dropping smack into the middle of a chaotic, ancient battlefield. We're going to explore this massive, timeless clash between practical survival on one hand and rigid, unyielding warrior honor on the other.
So, I want you to picture this. You wake up completely disoriented in a speeding chariot that's tearing away from the fight. And these panicked words are just spilling out of your mouth. What hast thou done? Why dost thou go leaving the field of battle? Well, that's exactly the wild situation our warrior Pradyumna finds himself in the second he regains consciousness.
Section 1. The Fall and Retreat. Let's quickly trace how things went so wrong so fast. The source text gives us this incredibly rapid chain of events. First, the moment of impact. Pradyumna gets hit hard by his enemy, Salwa, and is knocked completely unconscious. Instantly, it's total chaos. His Vrishni allies are absolutely gutted, grieving on the spot, while the enemy is literally cheering. But right then, his highly trained charioteer, the son of Daraka, makes the split-second executive decision to whisk his senseless warrior completely off the battlefield.
Moving on to the charioteer's defense. Because, as you can probably guess, he's about to face a seriously furious warrior.
What's super interesting here is the cold, hard logic the charioteer uses when Pradyumna accuses him of being a coward. The charioteer isn't panicking. Actually, he argues pure tactical protocol. He says, look, the enemy Danavas have superior numbers, they are stronger right now, so it is his sworn, explicit duty to protect his unconscious boss and fall back. It's totally practical. But of course, this completely clashes with Pradyumna's absolute burning desire to fight to the bitter end.
The charioteer actually reminds him of their mutual battlefield pact, saying, "Thou shouldest always be protected by me, even as it behoveth thee to protect me." He makes this rock-solid, life-saving case that any modern tactician would totally agree with. He's basically saying, hey, I'm literally just doing my job here.
Next up, the Vrishni warrior code. To get why Pradyumna completely rejects this logic, we really have to look at his moral framework.
You see, these warriors operate under a super rigid set of rules of engagement. You don't strike a fallen foe crying for mercy. You definitely don't harm the innocent or hit someone who's distressed or broken or even just lost their chariot. But the absolute golden rule, you never ever forsake the field of battle. For them, retreating is exactly as shameful as attacking an unarmed person. It's just not done.
Which brings us to a fate worse than death. And for Pradyumna, the real terror isn't physical at all.
He instantly starts panicking about his family's judgment. He's dreading what Madhava will say, and even worse, what his mighty armed uncle Baladeva is going to think. I mean, think about it. Having to explain to your incredibly powerful uncle, who, as the text notes, happens to be dressed in blue and highly inebriated with wine, that you literally ran away? Yeah, absolute nightmare scenario.
And that anxiety just snowballs into this heavy burden of imposter syndrome. He starts agonizing over the ridicule he's going to get from the other elite warriors. He's listing off these massive names: Satyaki, Shemba, Akrura. These are the guys who used to constantly brag about him. Facing his own hype men after being dragged away from a fight, that would just be soul-crushing.
But the ultimate devastation? The judgment of the Vrishni wives. He is terrified that they're going to strip away his manly pride, call him a coward to his face, and dramatically hit him with a "fie on him."
This brilliantly shows how much weight reputation held in their society. He straight up says that ridicule is, to him, more than death. Being exiled socially and shamed by his community, that's viewed as a fate infinitely worse than just dying in combat.
So Section 5, the return to the battlefield. Pushed into a corner by this crushing social pressure, Pradyumna makes his final call.
He lays it all out for the charioteer. First, he was personally left in charge by Hari, so quietly slipping away is out of the question. Second, he literally sidelined another warrior, Kritavarman, swearing up and down that he would handle Salwa himself. But really, the absolute deal-breaker, he refuses to live with arrow wounds on his back. That's the permanent, undeniable physical mark of a runaway.
Completely throwing the charioteer's pragmatism out the window, he delivers his final verdict. I do not think life worth much, having fled from the field like a coward. Go back to the field. He commands the son of Daruka to spin that chariot right back around, actively choosing the lethal chaos of battle over surviving with a ruined reputation.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to chew on this for a second. If surviving costs you your honor and your entire community, is it truly a victory? When you're forced to choose between the deep, logical instinct to just stay alive
and the rigid code that makes you who you are, which path actually leads to a win? Keep that in mind as you process this wild clash of values. Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.